Mara Saint, Sise Ibrahim Sori, 21,077, representing 51.68%. Ture Mark Ibrahim, 685, representing 1.68%. Ture Mohammed Fereke, 860, representing 2.11%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as National Returning Officer by Section 98 of Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Sise Ibrahim Sori of the APC, having polled 21,077 of valid votes, counting 51.68%. APC. It's 51.68% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson duly elected chairman Falaba District. I think there's an error here. We need to make it. I've just been reminded by the regional commissioner. It's not APC of Falaba District. Yeah, you can send that. I will read it again. Kwenadugu District.
Commissioner.
Okay. Okay, we have to understand our staff are working on a very tight schedule, which I gave there, and therefore some of the, you see, that's the problem when you're working on templates. You have developed templates and then you just fill in the relevant information, so these mistakes are bound to happen. And there we go back and do the correction to read the corrected results. These are the results. Kamara Sunkari Sarah, 557,000, representing 1.37%. Kabo Lansana Emmanuel, 17,257, representing 42.32%. Mara Sao 345, representing 0.85%. Sise Ibrahim Sori, 21,077, representing 51.68%. Ture Mark Ibrahim, 685, representing 1.68%. And Ture Mohammed Ferek, 860, representing 2.11%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Sise Ibrahim Sori of the SLPP, having pooled 21,077 of valid votes cast, representing 51.68% of the total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected Chairman Falaba District. Kwenadugu. 9 out of 309 polling station results were entered into the result database, 100% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 59,169. The percentage voter turnout is 69.43%. There were 325 invalid votes, representing 0.54% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Kwenadugu District. Faro Sheku, 815, representing 1.39%. Jalo Alpha Usman, 417, representing 0.71%. Kaba, 568, representing 0.97%. Kabo Lawrence Tete, 37,935, representing 64.47%. Kureshi Fode Mamadou, 17,857, representing 30.35%, and Mansare Mamadou, 307, representing 0.52%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Officer by Section 2 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Kabo Lawrence Tete of the APC, having pulled 37,935 of valid vote cards, representing 64.47% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 Chairpersons election, duly elected Chairman, Kwenadugu District Council. Tonkolili District. 720 out of 729 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 98.76% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 157,321. The percentage voter turnout is 75.8%. There were 720 invalid votes, representing 0.45% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as the National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Tonkolili District. Fofana Musa Kemo, 1,816, representing 1.16%. Lako Fatmata, 809, representing 0.52%. Sise Alusain Abdullahi, 21,087, representing 13.47%. Sise Mohammed Mamadi, 3,057, representing 1.95%. Sise Yabum, 129,832, representing 82.9%. In the exercise of the powers conferred on me as National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act, I hereby certify that Sise Yabum of the All People's Congress, having pulled 129,832 of valid vote cards, representing 82.91% of total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 Chairperson election, duly elected Chairman or Chairperson Tonkolili District. Gambia District. 513 out of 547 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 93.78% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 71,500. The percentage voter turnout is 46.86%. There were 376 invalid votes, representing 0.52% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each candidate in the chairperson's election in the Gambia District. Bangura Mohammed Yahya, 3,867, representing 5.43%. Kamara Amadou Aisatu, 840, representing 1.18%. Kamara Mohammed Alim, 20,267, representing 28.48%. Mansare Mohammed Abdul Mansariko, 45,429, representing 0.84%. Morgan Sarah, 756, representing 1.06%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act, I hereby certify that Mohammed Abdul Mansariko of the APC, having pooled 45,429 of the valid vote cast, representing 63.84% of total votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected chairman, Cambia District. Karina District. 348 out of 359 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 96.93% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 75,357. The percentage voter turnout is 75.13%. There were 359 invalid votes, representing 0.47% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Karina District. Bayo Sir, 1,349, representing 1.8%. Sako Theresa, 10,319, representing 13.76%. Ture Abdul Kande, 3,330, representing 84.44%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as National Returning Officer, Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Ture Abdul Kande of the APC, having pooled 63,330 of valid votes cast, representing 84.44% of the total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected chairman, Karine District. Local districts. 754 out of 708 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 99.47% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 153,099. The percentage voter turnout is 70.96%. There were 754 invalid votes, representing 0.49% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Poloko District. Kaba Lami, 1,509, representing 0.99%. Kamara Suri Ibrahim, 1,346, representing 0.88%. Sako Sheku Tijan, 128,549, representing 84.38%. Suma Fatmata Bambe, 20,941, representing 13.75%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify Sako Sheku Tijan of the APC, having pooled 128,549 of valid votes cast, representing 84.38% of total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election. Duly elected Chairman, Poloko District. Poloko City. 70 out of 78 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 89.74% of the polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 15,174. The percentage voter turnout is 71.27%. There were 77 invalid votes, representing 0.50% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the mayoral elections in Poloko District, in Poloko City. Kamara Ibrahim, 2,528, representing 16.75%. Kamara Tigdake Doli, 93, representing 0.62%. Trawali Aliu Badara, 12,310, representing 81%. Trawali Salimatu Ibrahim, 94, representing 0.62%. Ture Mariatu Saudatu, 72 votes, representing 0.48%. In the exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Tawari Aliyu Badara of the APC, having pooled 12,310 of valid votes cast, representing 81.54% of the total votes, valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected Mayor Poloko City Council. Bo City, 236 out of 240 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 97.92% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 42,091. The percentage voter turnout is 58.86%. There were 197 invalid votes, representing 0.46% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as a National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the mayoral elections in both districts. There's an error here. Cannot complete it. Bo districts. 679 out of 719 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 94.43% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 134,841. The percentage voter turnout is 66.24%. There were 568 invalid votes, representing 0.42% of the votes percent of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in both districts. Hindowa Victor Kose, 124,265, representing 92.55%. Kabo Saleh Mariam Augusta, 7,438, representing 5.54%. Salia Fode Mori, 864, representing 0.64%. Sharif Mohammed Mambu, 1,706, representing 1.27%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Hindowa Victor Kose of the SLPP, having pulled 124,265 of valid vote cards representing 92.55% of the total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 Chairperson election, duly elected Chairperson Board District. Bond District. 342 out of 366 of polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 93.44% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 81.619%, it's 81,619. The percentage voter turnout is 78.51%. There were 341 invalid votes, representing 0.41% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each candidate in the Chairperson election in Bond District. Aliyu Mustafa Moidebo, 584, representing 0.72%. Conte Asiatu, 77,681, representing 95.57%. Oni Teresa Tene, 3,013, representing 3.71%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I certify that Conte Asiatu of the SLPP, having pulled 77,681 of valid votes, representing 95.57% of the total votes cast in the 24th June 2023 Chairperson elections, duly elected Chairperson, Bond District. Moyamba District. Analysis of the results. (533) out of 537 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 99.25% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 112,110. The percentage voter turnout is 74.54%. There were 530 invalid votes, representing 0.47% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the Chairperson elections in Moyamba District. Jembe Gasimu Soriba, 1,357, representing 1.22%. Jumbla Jimmy Hinga, 2,622, representing 2.35%. Kapoi Musa Tapima, 21,750, representing 19.49%. Bogba Joseph Benedict, 85,851, representing 76.94%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by the 2 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify Bogba Joseph Benedict of the SLPP, having pulled 85,851 851 of valid votes cast, representing 76.94% of the total votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected Chairman, Moyamba District. Bond City. 18 out of 18 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 100% of the polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 3,526. The percentage voter turnout is 95.63%. There were 18 invalid votes, representing 0.51% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as the National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the mayoral elections in the Bond districts. Bond City. Imawa Fani Nema, 404, representing 10.79%. Robinson Mohammed Mahmoud, 3,341, representing 89.21%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Robinson Mohammed Mahmoud of the SLPP, having pooled 3,341 of valid vote cast, representing 89.21% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected Mayor, Bond Municipality Council. Pujaun District. 410 out of 422 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 97.15% of the polling station in the district. The total number of votes cast is 101,626. The percentage of voter turnout is 87.66%. There were 422 invalid votes, representing 0.41% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson elections in Pujaun District. Rogers Fudi Kande Senior, 97,108, representing 95.95%. Soiree Dennis, 4,096, representing 4.05%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Rogers Fudi Kande, Senior of the SLPP, having pooled 97,108 of valid votes cast, representing 95.95% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected Chairman, Pujaun District. Western Area Rural. 1,095 out of 1,161 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 94.3% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 300,411. The percentage voter turnout is 87.87%. There were 1,096 invalid votes, representing 0.3% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Western Area Rural District. Barry Mohammed Denke, 2,074, representing 0.69%. Cole Eugene Ayo, 35,079, representing 45.13%. Holland Cole Kashaw Joseph, 157,164, representing 52.51%. Kamara Abdullahi DG, 2,467, representing 0.82%. Kamara Amidu Ibrahim, 620, representing 0.21%. Kabo Suleiman Samba, 328, representing 0.11%. Kuruma Mariama, 829, representing 0.28%. Tipsy Fibian, 754, representing 0.25%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Holland Cole Kashaw Joseph of the APC, having pooled 157,164 of valid vote cast, representing 52.51% of the total valid vote cast in the 24 June 2023 Chairperson election, duly elected Chairman Western Rural District Council. Western Area Urban, 1,932 out of 2,049 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 94.2% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 564,003. The percentage voter turnout is 94.27%. There were 1,954 invalid votes, representing 0.34% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each candidate in the mayoral election in the Western Area Urban District. Aki Sawyer Denise Yvonne, 288,683, representing 51.36%. Bangura Jonathan Paul Siddiqui, 1,487, representing 0.26%. Barry Sharif, 1,801, representing 0.32%. Conte Kasim, 309, representing 0.5%. Kaba Sire Mariam, 556, representing 0.10%. Kamara Lilian, 753, representing 0.13%. Kamara Mohammed Gento, 268,213, representing 47.72%. Sankor Ibrahim, 247, representing 0.04%. In the exercise of the powers conferred on me as a National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Akisoya Denise Yvonne of the APC, having pooled 288,683 of valid votes cast, representing 51.36% of total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 mayoral election, duly elected Mayor of Freetown City Council. We are waiting for the Bo City correction.
We're live from the Bintu Mani Conference Center, the Freetown International Conference Center, where the National Returning Officer, Mohamed Kone, accompanied by other regional commissioners, just announced result for mayoral, chairperson, and parliamentary allocated seats to political parties in the 6th Parliament. We are waiting for some corrections with the result from the Bo City Council, I think. We need to do some corrections on it, and that is being done, and when it comes, they will be announcing it again. It's a somber mood here, quite off. I can see the SLPP visibly represented on my right hand side, seated, some senior members of the SLPP, and the media's attention is here. The media, local and international media houses are all here, bloggers as well, streaming live on social media for the public to get the information. We should also note that a result for councillors has not been announced. According to the National Returning Officer, they will announce that in due course, and that will be communicated to the public, and definitely AYV will be here to bring you the announcement of those results from across the country. You're watching and listening and following us on our social media. This is AYV broadcasting live from the Freetown International Conference Center at Bintu Mani, where the National Returning Officer, the chairman of the National Electoral Commission, the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone ECSL, Mohamed Kone, just announced results for chairperson, mayoral positions, and parliamentary. And there's not been celebration in here as it was when the presidential results were announced. There's been a somber mood. At some point, the National Returning Officer had to quench his thirst after reading, calling so many figures. I'm sure Sierra Leoneans out there doing the mathematics. We've seen one of the commissioners, I think that one of the commissioners has left his seat. He has just gone perhaps to see whether that is Commissioner South actually. Is the commissioner responsible for Bo District, the region where we are waiting for some corrections to be made on the results. The results have been announced for the mayor position in Freetown, in Bo, in Port Loko, Makeni, and chairperson for the district across the country. And also members of parliament will be representing the political parties in parliament from the district. Our producers are putting the figures together, and I'm sure they will be up on our screens very soon. The results has come. It's here. They corrected the results, I'm sure, from the South Bo district, and it has been handed over to the National Returning Officer, Mohamed Kone. Let's listen.
390 out of 390 database, representing 100% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 81,849. Percentage voter turnout is 72%. There were 392 invalid votes, representing 0.47% of votes. Now Therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the mayoral election in both districts, in both cities. Dumbuya Abdullahi Sanko won 14,608, representing 17.93%. Fatoma Zainab, 355, representing 0.44%. Musa Koba, 65,121, representing 79.95%. Y. Ramatu, 1,104, representing 1.36%. And Yambasu Glory Phoebe, 269, representing 0.33%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Musa Koba of the SLPP, having polled 665,121 of valid vote cast, representing 79.95% of total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 Chairperson election, duly elected Mayor Bo City Council. We've come to the end of announcement of results for both parliamentary and the mayoral and chairpersons elections. Thank you so much for coming. God bless us all.
It has ended here, the announcement of the final results for the chairperson mayoral, but I see the SLPP seems to be well represented here. I want to ask, hello sir, how are you sir? Then just announce the results. I suppose you represent the SLPP now. What's in this result mean for the party?
Well, I win for the party. We know to win for everybody. Win for Sierra Leone. So we accept the party. We accept the results. The outcome of the results. We know say the people of Sierra Leone win.
Are you expecting this? You've been expecting?
The election. You expect the outcome could be this and that, but nobody expects say we will lose the Freetown Urban. But it's an election. You can't say you win all. What you get? Satisfied with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's talk to some other people. Una don't dare and don't read the results. What does this mean for the party with the number of members of parliament and the other seats?
Well, me Dr. Robert Chakanda, Deputy National Secretary General for SLPP. We're really happy with the results so far because we know say we don't gain a lot of seats in the parliament, and we believe the institution also will carry out all the processes. I think we stand at the higher ground.
Even they expect this?
Well, elections normally they expect for you to win everything, you know. But whatever comes out, we respect the process, and we know say as a party we just go for continue with the ruling platform.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll talk to the madam. I see. I'll talk to you, sir. We can just introduce yourself. Should we talk to you?
Yeah, my name is Akanabo, the National Treasurer of the Sierra Leone People's Party.
Okay, the result don't come out today. Are you happy as a member of the SLPP?
Well, SLPP is a democratic party, and SLPP respects the rules and order of the institutions, so we are happy, and it's a win-win situation for us. Okay. That's what.
Yeah, there is the gender empowerment bill. Really talk about more women at parliament. Do you expect to see that with this result really not announced today?
Of course, like in our own part Southeast, we have more women in parliament, even in the city council, like Bond districts, the chairperson is the woman.
Thank you very much. I will talk to one final person.
Yeah. Alasan Balogu Gawani George, Deputy National Organizing Secretary, Sierra Leone People's Party.
What in this result mean for the SLPP?
Well, we accept wholeheartedly. We see we make plenty inroad in the north and other side them. The only shock and everything when an election we accept and respect the decision of the electoral Commission, National Electoral Returning Officer, when gentle inside, but to accept it because we trust the process from the beginning. We don't need to go back to the drawing board. Make we see who side will not mean put more weight, make we put more weight today. But so far so good. As you can see, put local win at the hub of the other people. They will get 4 seats today, and so we do assignments well.
Thank you very much. These are members of SLPP, and we want to make them very clear that's not the only political party this we were able to see how we can represent the party today as the national returning officer being they announced the results. So we they continue with the broadcast as you don't hear from the national returning officer, then still not announce the councillors them yet, and hopefully we then give you information so then go announce that we go bring that live to you from the Freetown International Conference Center na Bintumani. My name Amadou connect with my colleagues them Sonia and Marianne where they outside for roundup, and as we don't dare from this morning, you know, they wait for the time for this announcement. Continue for watching AYV.
Plenty thank you to we colleague Amadou Lamranaba for that short interview. Well, Fambu members say we still there na the Bintumani full 2020 elections up. Usai we there for you now update, but waiting up we are today as we don't see the CSL returning officer and commissioner Wena Mohamed Kone don't give the final result for mayoral chairperson and parliamentary results. Then he always say all good things shall come to an end. Indeed, things don't come to an end today. Well, today for giving updates now, my name na Mariana Maria Bangura, and I get to my colleague going to this himself.
And me, your name na Sonia Jafar. So as you know, they're live na the Bintumani Conference hall for the 2023 SAFUL election. So as Marianne said, all good things must come to an end. Today, finally, you know, I believe all man go there at ease and at peace. So of course, AY, we don't take you through this election program. We don't do 100 countdown up to date. We don't take you through the programs and all. We don't even they do aftermath of the presidential election. And today we finally na Bintumani for. We don't done with the final results and all of parliamentarians, chairperson, council, mayor, and all these things. So far so good from the announcement made by the returning officer, Mr. Kone, from the parliamentary side and all. 81% seat is occupied by the SLPP. Yes, and then also we get a percentage of 51% of the All People's Congress Party now the parliamentary seats. So 60% of the SLPP don't occupy 81% of the seats in parliament, and then 40% of APC don't occupy the seats in parliament.
And if we can remember the last elections, it not been like so, but this time around it don't look like say SLPP don't get the majority of seats na parliament. Well, inside we mayoral election, we been see inside Mr. Kone been talk say inside bonds the mayor na bonds na Robinson Mohamed Mahmoud we come out when from the SLPP party, and inside Western area urban we been get a tight competition between Mohamed Gentu Kamara of the SLPP and Yvonne Akisoya of the APC. So according to the outcome of the result, Yvonne Akisoya of the APC gets over 288,683 valid votes. We make it get 51.36%, and Mohamed Gentu of the SLPP been get 268,213 valid votes. We're making it 47.72%. And finally, we see Sena Yvonne Akisoya be able to make as na in win the mayoral seat for Freetown.
Yeah, so fumble them in terms of the parliament. Some of them go confused where some districts they not actually get a parliamentarian because of them get a threshold of 11.9%. When at the threshold where ECS can be put to make anybody go forget elected into parliament. And some way not for say them we don't call future persons, the councillors, district mayoral, and so on. But of course we can't deep dive into that because there's so many numbers involved and so many things. One for ensure for say we're going to the correct numbers. So of course in future programs, them aftermath of the election, we will make sure so now we update to now. Mind if not get any questions in mind or whatsoever, not forget for drop your comments now the live stream program at AYV News on Facebook. And also if you not read them, you not see them, or yeah, make sure you wait a year from AYV before you take these things. Fake news they spread so forth. But so far so good. The election don't be peaceful one, and we really appreciate we Sierra Leoneans. Then we really don't try. We should be proud of ourselves and all these things. little kuskas and all these things. But so far so good. It has been a very, very peaceful, indeed, now a successful election. We would hope for the best, and we wish all the people that we don't actually get for we not be elected as parliamentarian, chairperson, councillor, and that of the mayor as well. So yes, so now you go for tap for today. Now the Bintumani conference all of the 2023 successful election. My name is Sonia Jafar.
And me, your name na Maria Bangura, and I just want to emphasize daily everybody come on board and work for Saloon. Whether na you company win or na you lost, they will now all come together at this important time and work for Saloon. We go send over to we other studios them, whereas we other programs them go continue for good on for the day. Thank you.
Okay, plenty thank you to Sonia Jafal and Maria Bangura and also Amadola Mganaba. We don't take we through the update and from Bintumani as ECSL don't announce the remaining results for the Sierra Leone decides where Sierra Leone and go vote June 24, 2023. I still get honorable Bamidele Chile with me in the studio. You don't follow through the announcement of the rest of the results then. So far, what's your opinion on the results? Particularly, we go on PR system. They may say because PR system will bring more inclusion at parliament. But it seems the PR system don't favor APC and SLPP. Because before this PR system election, 2018, we get independent candidates in a parliament, we get C4C self-secure seats, NGC, but now we don't come PR system with a threshold of 11.09%. Now, APC and SLPP no more don't get seats in a parliament. What's your general overview of
my general overview? I mentioned it here. I said the 11.5 was a little bit high threshold. But because it is passed into law and there was an election management body will be there, then decided to say 11.5, 4.5 for the council and this thing. So you see, say, find out now that it's the two major parties that will get stake inside. But good, that's the demerit of the PR system. Why is the winner take all be that even when they vote, like with the election tied between the two candidates, SFP and APC, that the person will win 90 or so. That is why the PRC was trying to be encouraged that minority views will be heard. But now, another thing was in this PR system, if you lost election...
So now the PR system get the problem or now the threshold way?
The threshold a little bit high. A little bit high, but they accepted. They are the ones in parliament and the executive of the political parties. So this comes back
to when it favor APC and SLPP.
They agree.
They all two na party.
Yeah.
When it favor them, when something kind of interest, they all two they agree. Yes. But the threshold where they all go agree on for put now, don't disenfranchise independent candidates them, then other political party them. The 2018 parliament mix get more inclusion than this 2023 parliament now, so they can go so.
Well, definitely. Because as you say, if you not give me that threshold of 11.9%, you are eliminated. And then in this one, independent candidate not really get voice. Your vote is, you see the pattern, 4-4-4, or it's sometimes you have the split votes. Now no more they happen. But generally, now the one that was strong and then they get them.
Going forward, for make we able for actually enjoy the benefits of the PR system as they don't communicate to the public to a point where some say we enjoy wait till we see 2018 where you get independent candidates in a parliament, you get some of the other political parties themselves get some MPs in a parliament. How we need for adjust the threshold?
Well, that one they have to work out with mathematics this time, because if you notice, some of the parties some of these independent candidates who are stake in their constituency to come on board. Some of them cross over. Like the C4C, most of them went to the SLPP and they gave them symbol as against the other people within SLPP. And then the other one they were split between NDC, PMDC, as well as some go APC or some resign commodity. So if you look at now we now for continue to sensitize and improve on the rules and regulation of the DC block system, that's the public the PR system. Now we go for sensitize because this thing nobody understands better. Like now, I enjoy the Freetown area. So if there's 9 people, 7 of SFB they go parliament, 9 of ABC they go parliament. Because there's 16 seats split between 9 and 7. So that is why. So now no by-election all day. So you don't save costs. But the point is, we have to look at the merit and try to sensitize people for making them understand them properly. that all man will make sure saying that the party and they vote for, they all are campaign for them. If you notice, it reflects on the rural area. I was surprised. The rural area pulling enough from 5-5.
And also, we don't get you today at AYV all day. And you self go and go about you normal day. As we try for round up now, waiting are you thoughts in again the role of one, the government, two, and by government of course the main the ruling party SLPP, two, the people of Sierra Leone and the other political parties, including the main opposition APC, waiting for everybody in your role for make way for come on board and ensure say we move forward as a country and go in the right direction of development for Sierra Leone. Which means election are biscuit. We should come together and build Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone comes first. So now lay all our own personal grievances and everything and think the broader picture of Sierra Leone. Because look at this election. The tensions, all this election are Freetown. Not the urban, not the rural, it's the urban. And they show you say, who say you expect say you go win, you lose. And make sure say, if you listen to the comments of the people of the SLPP there, they accepted the result so that the country can move forward. So now that same spirit, the olive branch will extend for make you think Sierra Leone and make sure we become constructive to nation building, not to begin pulling itself apart. Because now the election on done, no rank or no day again, at least we can come back and do it. But that rank although APC issued a press release where then date 30th June, which was yesterday. They say because of all the irregularities, then they abstain from participation in governance, including the legislative. So, and with what the election results, now just APC and SLPP no more, they in governance. So if APC recuse themselves, they stay off governance, it means automatically we don't get a one-party sort of democracy by SLPP. We're not going to be any fault of the SLPP because now APC don't issue release say then choose for abstain.
Now talk then, so because you have to go through a process. You don't go parliament, you don't swear in, you're not a member of parliament. That's the law. Unless you're sworn in, you have to take the oath of office to become a member of parliament. If you not go there, you really start it, then get laws, electoral laws, then there where you can be excluded. Then, if you're excluded, then the next man APC go, SLPP go come on board, or the next man APC, but if they don't want at all, they'll go for turn to the other side of the party. As a well-meaning Sierra Leonean, what will be your message or sort of word to the APC? Like that theme, vote Safu, make sure say not being anything will be insecurity at the country, because at the end of the day, you self one for one the country. If we damage what we don't get right now, you will able to put all the cracks together. Now we should make sure say now we go back to the APC opposition now. Like SLP don't take and quietly from what we see that the television has just said that it will repeat itself in the streets, that they have accepted the result for make Salongo before. That is the same spirit now. The team, because this election, suppose they have gone around to Gento, would have been another thing. So in other words, you look at the situation, look at the result. It was simple. 9-7. You see that pattern they go. If you have changed it a little bit, then you have some explanation to do. That is why next time for maintain credibility and integrity, even as a human being, they made a small mistake, but they corrected it there and then within 10 or 20 minutes. And finally, you message to the people of Sierra Leone, not to the politicians now, the ordinary people, the one that win at the supporter of them political party, the one that win at them party win, the one that win at them party loss, in the various areas then from the presidency, parliament, now council or mayor, waiting will be your message to Sierra Leoneans. My message is let us tune down our rhetoric. Don't make sure say we talk to people for make them understand and see say now salon we look for improvement and betterment. And then from that in the USA, you don't lose, go back to the drawing board, try to correct your mistakes, and then make sure say the next time round you'll be a successful winner. Honorable Amedele Chidi, thank you for joining me today on this discussion. Well, now so we go like for end this session here. So AYV don't they cover the Sierra Leone decides elections from we actually do 1 year countdown from 1 year before the elections date, which was June 24, 2022. We've been launching of the Sierra Leone decides project for the election. So Sierra Leoneans then don't decide on. ECSL don't announce the results of all the election across the country, from the presidential, parliamentary, mayor, and local and councillor.
we don't get the results today, finally. Well, AYV will continue for you updates as things they progress. And continue for listening to AYV radio, watch AYV television, and continue for following on all we online and social media platforms them. Well, me we don't moderate this session. My name na Phoebian Swill. Thank you for waiting and continue for enjoy your weekend. Remember, then I use and enjoy yourself. Safu.